What if I told you I could read your thoughts? Would you be more guarded around me? Or would you be like, nah, screw this guy, I hope he dies? Hopefully not the second one. In today's video, you're gonna be able to steal your spectators' thoughts and they're not gonna be able to do a thing about it. Just watch. Alright yo, so check this out. For those of you who are curious, by the way, these are the Good Pal Chancellor's V3 playing cards, now available on Kickstarter. Definitely look them up. Now here's how this card trick is going to work. It's a thought experiment, because for the longest time, people thought that card tricks and telekinetics kind of correlated to each other. Now don't worry, I'm not going to reveal like your deep dark secrets or anything, but there's something that I've always wanted to try out. So I want you to go ahead and just think of any card. And let's to simplify things, let's do it this way. I'll put out a couple of cards on the table, maybe one more. Get one more, why not? Think of any one of these cards. Now, if you were here, you could truly think of any one of these cards. Let's just say for our purposes, you thought of this card right over here, right? So take a look at that card and memorize it. We'll square up this deck, or square up these cards, and put them right on top. Now, do me a favor. Look me right in the eyes that you can't see. So maybe just look right here. And mentally tell me the name of your card. All right, perfect. I got it. So I'm gonna try to control it to the position that it needs to be in. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Each card has a spelling, right? So I wanna try to control it to the position on where it should be spelled, right? So I'm gonna give you this deck and I want you to take it. And you've told me that card now mentally. Now I want you to say it out loud. The Queen of Diamonds, right? She said Queen of Diamonds. Now you can take this deck and spell out Queen of Diamonds. Q-U-E-E-N-O-F-D-I-A-M-O-N-D-S. And if we look at the card at this position that you merely thought of, it happens to be the Queen of Diamonds. Boom. What up, crew? It is Magic Monday, and this is your place to learn magic, master your performance, and captivate audiences. First of all, big thank you to the Card Inn for sponsoring this video. They currently have a Kickstarter going on for their Good Pal V3 Chancellor's playing cards, so you should definitely check it out if you're interested. There are a lot of great things about this deck, including the artwork and the new marking system. And they're going to be on Kickstarter for just a couple of more days, so right now is the time to get them. So now, giving you the background on this effect, it's known as Thought Stealer, and it's from the Card College Series Volume 1, and I recently found out that it's actually a variation on a trick from the Royal Road to Card Magic. The more you know. Now, before we dive right into the tutorial, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and get ready to share with all your friends. Now grab your favorite deck, and let's do this. Here we are at the tutorial. So a little bit more info I want to share with you. This is probably somewhere between beginner intermediate, because there are some more complex moves involved, and you're talking while doing those moves. But don't worry, with a little bit of practice, you can definitely get it down. Now, there is a bit of a setup involved, but here's what you need. You need to organize 6 cards on top. The first is 2 of clubs, which, by the way, 10-letter word, 2 of clubs, 10-letter phrase, 2 of clubs. 6 of spades, 11 letters. 5 of hearts, 12 letters. 7 of spades, 13 letters. 4 of diamonds, 14 letters. And Queen of spades, 15 letters. Just an interesting fact wanted to share with you right there. We'll take all these cards and in that order, put that on top of the deck. Now, once you're beginning the trick, you have the cards taken out of the tuck case, and you want to handle them and kind of shuffle them. If you don't know false shuffles, I'll put some links on the screen. You can go ahead and check out false shuffles, false cuts. But you want to instill in the spectator's mind that the deck has been shuffled up. So I actually like to start off with a riffle shuffle. I just make sure when I'm riffle shuffling, I don't riffle off the top, 5, 6 cards, or I would say top 6 cards, and they just go right on top. And then you can shuffle that together. You can also give the deck a false cut. One of my favorite false cuts, by the way. You hold the deck like this in a Mechanics grip, cut off about a third of the deck into your opposite hand. You do a swing cut off another third, put the pinky break between these two, put this packet down, put this down, and put that down. Up to speed, it looks very believable. I don't think anyone's ever called me out on it. But if you take a look now, top 6 cards are still exactly the same. Amazing. All right, once this is done, here's what I do. While I'm speaking to the spectator, you really want to focus this around a story, because if you really want to master your performance and have a big impact on your audience, you need to focus this trick around a story, and many tricks would be better focused around a story. So now, while I'm doing this, I'm doing a controlled overhand shuffle. So I'm telling the spectator that there's a correlation between reading minds or telekinetics and card tricks. And now, this is the way that it's taught in the book. I don't want to be reading your intimate thoughts, or I don't want to be going your deep, dark secrets or anything like that. Just to kind of put them at ease, and I know they're going to be at ease, but just to kind of put them at ease and just enjoy the trick a bit more, because if you're not having fun, what are you doing? All right, so while you're speaking of all that, I give the deck a shuffle, and we're gonna be doing a overhand shuffle. I throw over maybe about a third of the deck, all right, maybe a third to half the deck, in jog right here on this card like this, push this back with your thumb, and shuffle right on top of it, right? Once you've done this, you tell the spectator, go ahead and think of any card. And you know what, let's do it this way. So before they even had a time to think of a card or to think of anything, you say, let me simplify this. And from here, you push down on this break you just made, or this in jog that you have, push down and forward, and then cut at that location where you have that break. And you say, let's make this a bit simpler. I'll show you a couple of cards and think of any one of these. I like to deal off 4 or 5 cards and then tell the spectator, all right, think of any one of these cards. Wait, you know what? Let me add one more. Right, so you're almost adding it in hesitation, where in actuality, there's no hesitation involved. Ask them to think of any one of these cards. Let's just say they thought of 7 of spades. So they're thinking of 7 of spades. And while they're doing this, I like to kind of give them their privacy, so I can show them these cards and I just look away and I tell them, I don't want to indicate in any way, or I don't want you to indicate in any way what card you're selecting with your eye movements. So I'm just going to look away. Again, kind of adding a bit more to the narrative that you have of you'll be able to read minds and you don't want any other indication. So 7 of spades, let's just say that's what they selected. Once they're done, you're going to square up this deck, put this packet of 6 cards on top of the deck. And now from here, you are going to ask them to look you in the eye. This is kind of a bit more of an intimate moment. You ask them to look you in the eyes and to mentally tell you their card. So of course they would actually do this and tell you the 7 of spades, right? From here, and again, this is going to require a bit of practice. You say you've told me your card, and you throw up. You're doing an overhand shuffle. You throw off some cards, right? Throw off a top, maybe like a fifth of the deck, and now you're going to single count 9 cards on top here. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you're going to in jog, and you're going to shuffle over the rest like this. So you have your break created here on the 9 cards. Now, here you're going to tell the spectator to name their card out loud. And the reason of that is because you want to be able to control the card to a specified location, and they'll see why that matters in a second. So now I transferred my break to a pinky break here, and then I'm going to cut at that location while the spectator tells me their card. And again, I could do a bit more false cuts, false shuffles, to pretend that I'm moving their card and shifting it to the position that it needs to be in. But in actuality, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards on top of our 6 card sequence. And now you see why the numbers mattered, right? Because now the 2 of clubs is placed, you spell it with 10 letters, it's 10th. The 6 of spade is spelled with 11 letters, that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and you get the point. So regardless of whatever card they tell you at this point, we said 7 of spades, you give them the deck, make sure they have the deck so they have full control. Count off 7 of spades, S-E-V-E-N, O-F, S-P-A-D-E-S. Do not forget the O-F, that's very important, and the S at the end. So they have 7 of spades here, and have them flip it over to reveal the 7 of spades. I hope you enjoyed that effect. I think it would be really powerful if you did this with someone who you kind of have an attraction towards. I mean, I don't know, things may work out, you may get somewhere, I don't know. Thanks again to the Card Inn for sending me these playing cards and sponsoring this video. It would be great to have you support them on Kickstarter. The link to it will be the first one in the description. A big thank you to all my Patreon producers, and thank you, love you, see you soon.